Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Yellow. Last time, we conquered the remainder of Route 14, and we got here to Route 15 in the Kanto region. We also had an evolution on the team in the form of Charmeleon into Charizard, which I am super hyped about. And I think this time I am going to swap, I'll swap Wartortle into the front just so it can catch up a little bit, because Charizard and Nidorino are pulling pretty far ahead of the team, so we're going to see if we can get some experience on some of the lesser used members of our team. Although, can you really blame me? Charizard is awesome. It's not my favorite Pokemon, but honestly, anyone who outright dislikes Charizard is just completely lying to themselves. Like, it's a fire-breathing lizard that can fly. Like, don't try and tell me that's not cool, because it is most assuredly cool. Anyway, Wartortle's going up against this Pidgeotto here. Hopefully it can do more than that, I would have hoped. Hey. Oh well. When it comes to training Pokemon, sometimes Pokemon can fall behind a little bit. You just gotta keep at it, you know? So hopefully we can get Wartortle and Ivysaur up there in the levels before too terribly long. And there we go. Water Gun brings down Pidgeotto. Very nice. Up next is Wigglytuff. That's an interesting one. I am going to switch over to Ivysaur just because Wartortle's accuracy is a bit depreciated, and I would like to get someone out there with a nice, keen eye for actually making contact with their opponent. Because, I mean, that's honestly a pretty good feature, and also that was a critical. Like, are you serious? Alright, well, we'll poison it, and that should bring it down pretty quickly. And was that disabled? Poison powder disabled. Nice. Don't need to use that anymore, so we are alright. So I think we'll try Leech Seed this time. There we go. You gotta strategize these kinds of things. Not everyone's a Charizard. We can just slash over and over and over again and get criticals 6 ways to Sunday, because, man, that was insanity. Alright, that does a little damage. That does a little more damage. And I think we're stuck using Vine Whip on this one, even though it's not going to do too much damage. Which is unfortunate, but I guess we're going to have to roll with it. Although, to be fair, Wigglytuff is incredibly bulky. Although, I don't know what its special stat is. That's one thing that always throws me off about Generation 1, is special attack and special defense are the same stat in this game. It's just really weird, hard to keep track of. Anyway, Ivysaur falls asleep. But if we can survive, there we go. What we can do is I kept the Pokeflute with me. So I can actually play it, and it plays the jingle as it did when we woke up Snorlax. And it will wake up Ivysaur, and it looks like we're not going to fall asleep again, which is awesome. Also, what? Why did the Leech Seed go off when it had no health? Okay, I will take that. Oh, this game sometimes. You looked so cute, too. I am cute. My mom says I'm cute. You look gentle, so I think I can beat you. Out of context, that could be a really awkward line. Anyway, got a Pidgey coming out right here. Level 29 Pidgey. What is with people and not wanting to evolve their Pidgey into Pidgeotto? Like, seriously. Oh goodness, they are playing the Sand Attack game. That's always fun, and by fun I mean it's not fun at all because you're going to start missing a lot, although we didn't miss right there. So I'm happy about that at least. And we did not miss there either. Very nice. Alright, and Wartortle gets to level 32, so yeah, we're getting some of those levels back, which is really nice. Alright, now we have a Pidgeotto entering the field. Alright, our accuracy is a little bit borked, but hopefully we can make it through this Pidgeotto with little trouble. Wow! That was a lot of damage. That's really impressive, actually. Alright. One more Water Gun, another critical, and we bring that thing down in 2 hits. That's impressive. I was not expecting to have that kind of luck. Anyhow, right over here, yet another trainer. One thing I've noticed about the Kanto region that I feel like other regions don't do as much is that the Kanto region's routes have a lot of trainers on them. Like, seriously, Route 14, I believe, had 10, and I think this route also has 10. Like, it's kind of crazy. A lot of routes in the Kanto region actually have double digits of trainers, and that's just kind of crazy considering how, like, the routes aren't that big, so they're pretty densely packed. Like, in later games, there's still a large number of trainers, but the routes themselves are also a lot bigger. So it really doesn't feel like the trainers are as densely packed as they are in this one. Alright, so Coughing, it looks like it's going to survive 2 hits? Yeah, survive 2 hits. Alright, so this guy has a lot of Pokemon here, so I guess I might as well mention the fact that as of Saturday, April 1st, the Pokemon anime is officially 20 years old. And that's not a joke. The Pokemon anime's first episode actually aired in Japan on April 1st, 1997, which is actually over a year after the game launched, which I found really interesting. How Red and Blue were on the market for 14 months almost before their companion TV show actually came out. Really interesting stuff. So I guess if anyone wants to talk about their memories of the Pokemon anime in the comments, feel free to do so. Honestly, I don't hate the anime as much as most people do, but I'll be honest, the Black and White saga, I suffered through all 142 episodes of that on the day they aired in the United States, and it was not worth it whatsoever, except for maybe the 13-episode Team Plasma arc. Other than that, though, really wasn't feeling it. So if anyone wants to talk about their favorite / least favorite parts of the TV show, please feel free to do so, because it's really fun to spark conversation on these kinds of things. Anyways, Vine Whip not very effective? Yeah, Vine Whip is not very effective. That's one of the effectivenesses that I kind of forget just because I almost never wind up in a grass versus poison matchup where I'm the grass type, so yeah, I guess grass type is not very effective on poison, which is unfortunate, but them's the ropes of the game, you know? Alrighty. Anyway, gonna take another Smog. Luckily, since Ivysaur is of the grass and poison typing, Coughing really can't do much to me. And I think even in Generation 1, Ivysaur can't actually be poisoned? I hope that's true. Anyway, just because this guy's got yet another friggin' poison type out here, I'm just gonna send in Charizard to wreck his face. Because the temptation is... oh wow, we're actually out of slashes. The temptation is truly too great. And Ember actually does quite a bit coming out of a Charizard, because Charizard, as a fully evolved Pokemon, has some really high stats. Which is really nice. So even though we don't have a more powerful Fire-type move, Ember's probably going to hold us for a little bit longer just because our stats themselves are so darned high. Fork over all your cash when you lose to me, kid. Excuse you, if I lose to you, I'm only forking over half of my cash. Alright, this guy's only got 3. I think 3 Pokemon is a little bit more manageable. And of course, Charizard's actually... wait, why is Charizard first? Oh yeah, Wartortle fainted. I forgot about that. Oh well. I guess we will just roll with it. But yeah, the fact that Charizard is a lot higher in level might make the item that we are going to get the opportunity to obtain later in this episode a little more viable, but honestly, I don't really like it all that much. I feel like it's too... it spreads things too thin, I guess we'll say. Alright, please don't disable Ember. You disabled Ember. Ember on Slash means I guess we have to use Rage, which is kinda crappy. Now, does this work the same as it used to? Yes. So, if Charizard is using Rage and gets hit by a physical move, it will actually cause its Rage to build. Although I don't know, it might work with Special too, special moves. But yeah, it will cause its attack to rise, and unlike later games, it looks like Rage actually gets locked in and you can't take a different action while it's in play, which I don't think was a thing in later games. I remember using Totodile in Pokemon Crystal and having to manually select Rage every single time I wanted to use it. So yeah, it looks like Rage being a lock-in move is only a Generation 1 characteristic. Anyway, we have to see how much damage we can actually take before we actually go down, because that's the problem with Rage. You're going to be taking damage constantly while using it. Now, can we bring down this Weezing? Oh, it'll be close. Oh, no, we can't, because Poison is going to bring down Charizard. Oh well. That means Ivysaur can come out here and clean up shop, because Weezing is super low on health, which means we can claim all of this experience, which is a lot. Wowee. Nice. That can't be true. Well, sorry, it is. Alright, now we have this lady right here. I raise Pokemon because I live alone. That's a little depressing, although I can say I'm pretty much the same way. Alright, she actually has a Bulbasaur, which is interesting, and we're going to be coming at it with an Ivysaur, and we're both the same level, which is definitely interesting. Now, how well are our types going to line up? That actually... oh, it was a critical. I was going to say that did a decent amount, but being a critical, it's not indicative of what we're going to be doing going forward, unless we get another critical. Jeez, this game sometimes. Now, can we get critical number 3? No. Oh well, worth a shot. Tackle number 4, and down goes Bulbasaur. Unintentional rhyme is unintentional. Alright, now she has an Ivysaur. I don't really trust my Ivysaur to be able to take down another Ivysaur in an efficient manner, so I think we're going to be switching over to Nidorino, who, luckily, not being a ground type yet, doesn't really have much to worry about against this Ivysaur right here. Man, I love Horn Attack. Horn Attack isn't as good as Slash, but it's still pretty darn good. Alright, gonna take you out, and we defeated the Beauty. Very nice. Alright, and we have at least one more trainer here. Let me try out the Pokemon I just got in a trade. Interesting. What Pokemon did you get in a trade, might I ask? Is it a trade evolution? The answer is... no, it's just a Gloom. Okay, I mean, nothing inherently wrong with having a Gloom, it just seems like a really weird Pokemon to trade for. Also, wow, Ivysaur is really not getting any good matchups right here. When we eventually get to the water routes of the game, Ivysaur is going to clean up shop, though, so we don't really have to worry about that. And Wartortle is going to clean up shop at the last 2 gyms in the game. I can personally guarantee that, so... even though they're not seeing too much action as of right now, they are definitely going to have their times to shine later, which is really, really good. Alright, Horn Attack brings you down, and Ivysaur grows to level 30, which means, if I'm not oh my god, Razor Leaf! Yes, 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 Razor Leaf. What are we going to delete? I'm gonna delete Tackle because it's really not very good and we don't even get stabbed from it. Finally we get Razor Leaf. Finally we get Razor Leaf. But yeah, I think with that, does that mean that Pikachu is our only Pokemon under level 30? No, Pikachu's over level 30, which means everyone is officially level 30 or higher, which is really, really, really good. Like, that makes me super happy, having everyone be in the 30s. I mean, we are on episode 35 right now, so you'd hope that everyone would be in the 30s or thereabouts. Alrighty. Anyway, gonna take Acid to the face right there, which does practically nothing in all honesty, and down goes Oddish. And up next is another Oddish. Why do people always train a bunch of Pokemon from the same evolutionary line? Like, not even just from the same type, because I can understand wanting to be like someone who only uses one type, but just using one evolutionary line seems really, really uncreative to me, I guess. I don't know. I think I mentioned this in one of last week's episodes, but I think it's just because when you really think about it, there are not a whole lot of Pokemon in the original Pokemon games, so I guess their options are a little bit limited. Anyway, down goes that girl, and right here, Route 15, west to Fuchsia City. Alright, now do we have anything to cure paralysis? No, I do not, which is really, really unfortunate. Alright, we're gonna fight this guy, and I think we might actually have to stop before getting to Fuchsia City because this episode is already about 15 minutes long. So, might be next episode before we get to Fuchsia City, which is fine, but a little bit unfortunate because I was really, really hoping we'd make it there. Oh, goodness gracious me. Dodrio is a force to be fearful of. I want to switch over to Nidorino as quickly as possible. That is not something I want to mess with using my Ivysaur, because Dodrio, usually you're going to see it packing Drill Peck, which will mess up grass types, like seriously. At least I'm pretty sure Drill Peck is in Generation 1. I'm pretty sure it is. Honestly, it's kind of hard to keep track of, wow, this thing can take a hit. It's really hard to keep track of when in the franchise moves were actually introduced. Honestly, there are moves that I encounter in Sun and Moon while I'm playing that I've never heard of before, and I assume they're new, but I go and look it up and it turns out they're from X and Y, or even Black and White. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, there was one move that I encountered. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was called. You know what? I'll see if I can look it up. Ion Deluge is a move I encountered in Sun and Moon, and I was completely confused about where it was from. Like, I'd never heard of it before. It turns out it was actually introduced in X and Y and not Sun and Moon. Yeah, really, really odd. I was like, what on earth is this move? But yeah, definitely interesting stuff. If anyone has a little anecdote about moves that they found out about way, way too late, I'd love to hear about it, because there are some moves that you almost never see, and I have to wonder what moves people have just completely missed. Now, to be fair, it's not really too out of the question that I would miss Ion Deluge, because, to be fair, only 9 Pokemon can learn it, so it's a pretty rare move that you don't see very often. And of course we're fully paralyzed. Oh, this is not good, actually. Alright, now I'm a little bit nervous, because Ivysaur is our only Pokemon left conscious, which means in between episodes I'm probably going to have to run back and heal again, which is going to suck. Like, that's going to be really, really, really frustrating. Anyway, what's not so frustrating is we finally have Razor Leaf. And we actually get a critical on it, which is nice. Critical hit ratio on Razor Leaf, I believe, is increased. Okay, thank God it's a Doduo. If it was a Dodrio, we would have had some issues. In fact, that right there could be a little bit of an issue. Yeah, alright. Let's set up a couple of things on it right here. Poison it and also Leech Seed it to get some healing. And now I really, really, really need to heal myself. Yeah, alright, so Super Potion right there. The problem with this thing is the AI in this game is pretty derpy, so odds are this thing is going to be using Peck a lot on me, which, I mean, to be fair, is a good strategy, but the way the game's programmed, it's something we're going to be seeing. Alright, so luckily it looks like we've got a decent amount of setup on this guy. Unfortunately, we do not have access to Toxic, which is unfortunate. I think we're going to be getting the TM for Toxic soon. I think it exists in this game, and Toxic and Leech Seed together is actually really, really broken. So I might actually make use of that strategy, even though it might be seen by some as cheating. Okay. Alright. Come on, it's almost down. And Razor Leaf should bring it down. That was a little scary. And then looking at the clock, it looks like this episode's probably going to be a little over 20 minutes just because of how long it took to bring down this particular trainer. Oh well. Anyway, I think with that out of the way, we are going to be ending things off here. So, this past episode of Pokemon Yellow, we conquered almost all of Route 15. Couldn't quite get through it. And next time on Pokemon Yellow, we are going to be wrapping up the remainder of this route and heading over to Fuchsia City. But not before I heal first. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.
ふくりん風船ポケモン高さ 1.0 メートル重さ 12.0 キログラムきめ細かくしなやかな体毛はうっとりするほど毛皮は高級品だ